Hey, so today I'm just going to talk about something that I guess is more personal, but not like, you know, I don't know, like too personal. It's not like me like delving into some weird shit about myself. More just talking about a problem that I have a lot of the time. And that problem is literally just hearing problems, just fucking. And here's the thing, like when it comes to my hearing, it it's never like, oh, I can't hear, right? It's like I can always hear things. I remember when I was younger, I used to pretend like I didn't hear people. I don't know why, but for some reason when I was younger, I just used to think it was like cool if someone was talking to you to just like pretend you don't hear them. like I like I don't really know why, but for some reason when I was a kid, I was just like, yes, if I pretend like I can't hear someone, I'm gonna be so cool or something. I don't know. I don't really know what that was about, but as I got older, I kind of started realizing that I genuinely struggle to understand what people are saying. And at the end of the day, I still don't know if that's like a hearing problem or not, but like, I don't really know how else to describe it. Because like I talked about this, I think a couple times, but and there's because I have this problem where sometimes I hear things, right? Like I can hear it loud and clear, but the second it enters into my brain, it's like my brain takes that word, shakes it up, and then somehow it becomes a completely different word that I have no idea how it even got the word. Like it almost just to me sounds like auditory dyslexia or something, you know what I mean? Which I don't think is a thing, but like that's what it reminds me of, right? Because dyslexia is like struggling to read things because it feels like the words are just like mixed up and shit. But that's how it feels like when I hear things. It sounds like I like hear something perfectly, but the second it enters my brain, like my brain is supposed to like, okay, process what I heard. It feels like my brain just shakes it up and it's like, oh yeah, you heard Zugor. That's the word you heard, and it's like, what the fuck is a Zugor? And it's like, I don't know. It's just you heard Zugor. They said Zugor. That's what they said, man. Don't question me. I'm your brain. And it's weird because I'm sure there's like some fucking logical explanation. Because I remember I tried to look this up before, and it felt like every time I tried to look it up, like it never had a like answer. It would just be like, oh, well, your ears are dirty, or oh, you just can't hear well, or you have a hearing impairment or something, right? And my ears are clean and I can hear everything crystal clear. But the problem is not that I'm like that's the thing. That's why I'm like is this really a hearing problem? Because like it goes in my ear, I hear it perfectly, but then my brain takes it and shakes it. Like it's literally not in my ear as much as it's my brain, or maybe these two are just both fucking broken. I don't know. But this problem like really started, I remember, because I actually talked about this. I think I talked about it when I was talking about Persona 5. Because and the reason I did talk about it in Persona 5 was because one of the songs in Persona 5 was doing the fucking thing that went in my ear and then jumbled up the fucking words, so I literally couldn't tell what the song was fucking saying. And as I mentioned in that video, one of the songs that started this for me was a song that was playing in Saints Row 1, and it was that of Gin and Juice by the Fallout Boys or something like that. I think it's what's I don't know if it's of Gin and Juice. I don't fucking know what it's called. Okay, I don't really listen to the Fallout Boys, but that song like it would play in Saints Row One, and for some reason when the song would play, I genuinely could not understand a word. And it wasn't like something where like, oh, they're speaking incoherently or the song is just going too fast for me to process. No, it was a pretty normal speed song. And what's weird is I could understand some of it, and it would just be like I'm hearing like like it's like some parts of it would just go in and just be like shaken up, and then it would just create this word that is very clearly not there. But some of it would be fine. Like some of it would just be like, oh, okay, it says this and this and this, but then suddenly there's just this fucking made up word that my fucking brain apparently shook around and spit out. And I'm sure people can like argue like, oh yeah, that's just like a hearing impairment, or oh your ears are dirty type thing, or people are like, oh sometimes you hear it and makes it garbled in your ear and then your brain sees it as garbled. But the reality is I don't ever feel like I'm hearing anything garbled. I hear everything perfectly, and then my brain just takes in as like, yeah, that's, you're not hearing what you think you're hearing. You're hearing something completely fucking different. And like I said in the Persona video, the song that usually plays when you're in like a more idle state, or when you're in like in Persona 5, whenever you're like in the cafe or something, and it plays like this gentle song where it's slow, it feels like you can hear every word perfectly. Yet for some reason, I can't understand a single fucking word. And in that video, I even kept saying that the word I kept hearing was Shepshifer, and I don't know what the fuck that means, and it's not even a word. And I eventually looked up the lyrics. In the song, they literally say, "I am a shapeshifter." So I guess I kind of heard it, but I legit didn't hear shapeshifter. And when I listen to it back, I still can't hear shapeshifter. I just, like, it just keeps getting jumbled, and that still doesn't change that the rest of the song is still jumbled to me. And that was like the second time ever like I ever listened to a song and I was genuinely like, I have no fucking clue what they're saying, because I hear them perfectly, but the word goes in and then it just fucking shakes up, and then I'm just like, I don't know what the hell's going on. Because like I said, at the end of the day, it never feels like it's a hearing problem. It feels like it's like a problem with my brain processing words. And it's happened like when I talk to people too, where like I talk to someone and I hear them perfectly, but somehow a word they say just gets fucking shaken, and I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? But they're talking about something normal, and I just hear something else. They can just be talking about like, oh man, so I was playing fetch with my dog the other day, and I'm like, why? I was like, why did you fucking? I was like, why'd you step on your dog? And they're just like, what the fuck are you talking about? I said I played with my dog, and I'm like, oh, I thought you said you stepped on your dog. And I know like people in general have like miscommunications, and sometimes they misunderstand things out of nowhere. But like for me, it feels like it's just constant, where like almost every time I hear something, it just feels like something gets shaken up to the point where I have to like remind myself, okay, there's no way they fucking said that. And or either that, or okay, that's not a word, so that's not what was said. I don't know. It's like a weird thing. I don't know. And it's one of those things like you talk about, and people are like, either they either say A, that's not a thing and you're an idiot, or B, that's a standard hearing problem and you need to clean your ears out. And again, my ears are clean, and I again hear everything perfectly fine. It's just as soon as it touches my brain, that word does not become a word anymore. And like I said, I tried looking it up because I was like, okay, maybe this is like some weird thing. Maybe there's like some problem where you like have trouble processing words sometimes. And when I look it up, nothing. They're just always like, oh yeah, you probably have like an ear infection or something. Or they're like, oh, you have tinnitus or something. And it's like, no, man, like tinnitus just causes your fucking ears to ring. It's not gonna garble my fucking words. I mean, that's another hearing problem. I have like permanent tinnitus. My ears are ringing like 24/7. And then sometimes they'll just like ring really hard and then it hurts, you know? So that's also just a fun little ear problem, I guess. Probably not really a hearing problem, but that one's more an ear problem because I just have permanent ringing in my ears and I've had it forever. So yeah, but yeah, I don't know what the fuck is wrong with me. And for all I know, maybe it's a common thing. Maybe it's a normal thing, and maybe I'm actually normal. Maybe someone's like, "Oh yeah, everyone has that," where their brain just jumbles up words constantly. But for me, it just kind of feels like unrealistic. Like it's just like one of those things where it's like, look, how do I hear the word perfectly and still have my brain jumble it up for me? Like I don't know. It's just like I don't know. It's like you're creating something, and then like this something has to like go in a machine that like processes the fucking thing you created, and then it just like takes that thing while it's processing it and just smashes it off the fucking walls of the machine. And it's like, there, we processed your tea kettle, and it's like it was supposed to be a fucking, I don't know, cup holder. I don't know. You know what I mean? It's just like it's just like I hear it and then it doesn't come out right. It somehow it's just never what I heard. But at the same time, I can't know what I've heard because your brain has to process what you heard. But then the brain processes something that is a completely inhuman phrase, and you realize, okay, so that's not what's being said. Because if your brain comes up with Zubor is Bibahu, like that's not a fucking sentence. That's fucking sim language, dude. Like my brain processes things into sim language. And I don't know, maybe I'm a sim that broke through the fucking system or something. I don't know. and I'm learning English. But the reality is, I don't know what the fuck is wrong with my ears or my brain. Well, I know what's wrong with my brain. I don't know what's wrong with my ears. But yeah, I don't know. It's just some weird like word processing issue, and I don't know what the hell's up with it. As for the tinnitus, at least I think it's called tinnitus. I don't know. I'm pretty sure tinnitus is like the ringing ears thing. I think, I don't know. I don't know my fucking technical terms. I'm an idiot. But that one is completely irrelevant to it. But it's still just like an ear problem in general. So yeah, I don't know. I have weird brain ear connection. I don't know. One of the wires is probably like snagged on something. I don't know. Probably a phone line or something. I don't know. But whatever. I don't know. It's just some weird shit. So yeah, whatever.